Welcome to another episode of Twisted Encounters. We have a bone-chilling story, so let's get straight to it. Seeking solitude, Sarah parked her camper van in a remote wilderness area. As night fell, a sense of unease settled over her, but she dismissed it as her imagination. One night, Sarah heard strange noises outside her van. Peering out, she saw nothing but darkness. She chalked it up to wildlife and tried to sleep. Night after night, the noises continued: soft footsteps, whispered voices. Sarah felt eyes on her, watching from the shadows. Fear gnawed at her, and she began to doubt her safety. Determined to confront her fears, Sarah ventured outside to investigate. She found nothing, but the feeling of being watched lingered, growing stronger with each passing night. One night, Sarah glimpsed a shadowy figure outside her van. It vanished before she could get a clear look, leaving her shaken and afraid. Fearing for her safety, Sarah decided to leave the campsite. But as she tried to start her van, she realized the engine was dead, trapping her in the wilderness with her unseen stalker. As the nights passed, Sarah's fear turned to determination. She set up cameras around her van, hoping to capture evidence of her stalker. What she discovered chilled her to the bone. Reviewing the footage, Sarah saw glimpses of a dark, shadowy figure lurking outside her van. It seemed to be watching her, waiting for the right moment to strike. Armed with evidence of her stalker, Sarah formulated a plan to escape. She waited until daylight, then made a run for it, fleeing into the wilderness on foot. After a harrowing journey, Sarah reached civilization and reported her ordeal to the authorities. The stalker was never caught, but Sarah found solace in knowing she had escaped with her life. Next story is the solo camper. Hiker Jake set out on a solo expedition into the remote wilderness, seeking adventure and a break from the bustle of city life. But as he ventured deeper into the woods, he felt a sense of unease, as if he was being watched. Just my imagination, I hope. As night fell, Jake made camp, unaware of the terror that lurked in the shadows. As Jake settled in for the night, a strange noise echoed through the forest. Curiosity piqued. He ventured out to investigate, only to come face to face with Bigfoot, a towering figure with eyes that glowed in the darkness. "You are not welcome here, human." Jake tried to back away, but he stumbled and fell, injuring his leg in the process. With adrenaline pumping, he managed to scramble up a nearby tree, seeking safety from the creature below. For hours, Jake remained hidden in the tree, his heart pounding in his chest as Bigfoot circled below, its gaze fixed on him. Jake tried to remain as still as possible, hoping the creature would lose interest and leave. As the night wore on, Jake's fear grew, his mind racing with thoughts of what might happen if Bigfoot caught him. He tried to stay awake, but exhaustion eventually overtook him, and he drifted into a fitful sleep. As dawn broke, Jake knew he had to find a way to escape. With great effort, he climbed down from the tree, his injured leg protesting with every move. He knew he had to find help before it was too late. As Jake limped through the forest, Bigfoot appeared once again, its presence a terrifying reminder of the danger he faced. With no other choice, Jake ran, hoping to outrun the creature and find safety. As Jake ran, he stumbled upon a hidden cave, its entrance obscured by foliage. Desperate for shelter, he entered the cave, only to discover that it was the creature's lair, filled with bones and remnants of its meals. "I'm not the first. I won't be the last." As Jake explored the cave, he heard the sound of footsteps approaching. Bigfoot stood at the entrance, blocking his only way out. Jake knew he had to confront the creature, or be trapped forever. With a deep breath, Jake stepped forward, facing Bigfoot head-on. To his surprise, the creature did not attack. Instead, it seemed to study him, its eyes filled with curiosity rather than malice. "You are not like the others. You understand." In a moment of understanding, Jake and Bigfoot formed an unlikely truce. Jake promised to keep the creature's existence a secret, and in return, Bigfoot allowed him to leave unharmed. As Jake emerged from the cave, he knew his life would never be the same. He had encountered a creature of legend and lived to tell the tale, a story that would be whispered around campfires for years to come. Our next bone-chilling story is called The Half-Werewolf. In a small town nestled in the mountains, John lived a quiet life until a strange illness began to consume him. One fateful night, under the light of the full moon, John's body contorted in agony as he transformed into a creature of myth, a werewolf. "What's happening to me?" As dawn broke, John awoke in the forest, his body bruised and his mind foggy. He remembered little of the night before, but the gnawing hunger and primal urges told him all he needed to know. He was a werewolf now. As John tried to make sense of his new reality, news of strange animal attacks spread through the town. John realized with horror that he was responsible, and he vowed to control his urges and protect the town from himself. Unbeknownst to John, a group of hunters had taken it upon themselves to track down the creature responsible for the attacks. Armed with silver bullets and ancient lore, they set out into the forest, determined to rid their town of the monster. As the hunters closed in, John realized he was outnumbered and outmatched. He fled deeper into the forest, hoping to find a place to hide until the hunters gave up their pursuit. As John hid in a cave, nursing his wounds, he realized the true extent of his transformation. He was no longer just John. He was a monster, feared and hunted by those he once called neighbors. One night, as John ventured into town in his human form, he was confronted by the hunters. They demanded he leave town and never return, or they would be forced to kill him. As John disappeared into the night, the town breathed a sigh of relief, believing the monster had been vanquished. But John knew the truth. He would forever be haunted by his past, a creature of the night, forever hunted. John knew he could not stay in the town he once called home. With a heavy heart, he bid farewell to his old life and set out into the wilderness, knowing he would forever be hunted by those who once knew him. Join Twisted Encounters 2 for more spine-chilling tales. Subscribe now for exclusive access to the darkest corners of horror.